The ultimate road trip to Key West.
And the must-see stops along the way.
Hello again, and thank you for joining us for yet another fun-filled episode of the adventurous life of Paul and Diane. First thing we want you to do is hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you never ever miss an exciting episode of the adventurous life of Paul and Diane. In this adventure, Diane and I took a road trip down to Key West. Starting from Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach area, we started our trip at approximately 4 a.m. We had 429 miles ahead of us, and we wanted to get as early of a start as possible to avoid traffic and spend as much time as we could in Key West.
Please comment below if you have taken this beautiful drive down to Key West, where you stopped along the way, and what stops that you would like to recommend.
I thought that driving down to Key West, you were literally over bridges almost the whole time. I didn't realize that you were literally driving on islands for probably the majority of your way down to Key West. But you do cross over 42 bridges, and the longest one, of course, being the 7-mile bridge. First off, the fun place to stop when you're outside of Miami is Robert is Here. It's a fruit stand market with every sort of fruit you possibly could think of, and they have been serving tropical fruit and milkshakes since 1959.
Paul drove through the early morning hours to Homestead, Florida, where we ate breakfast. Then we stopped at a gas station to gas up before we head down to Key West. And then when we stopped there, I took over driving the rest of the way to Key West.
Yeah, Key Largo is also home of John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. This is the only underwater state park in the country. They have glass-bottom boats, snorkeling, diving, and kayaking. Adventure awaits anyone wanting to explore the colorful underwater world of the coral reefs.
Also in Key Largo, there is a fun place to get a bite to eat, and that is Mrs. Mack's Kitchen. They are well known for their key lime freeze milkshakes, seafood dishes, and key lime pie.
All right, continuing our drive, we next get to Isla Morada and the Rain Barrel Village. This is home of the famous giant lobster, Betsy. Betsy was built in 1985, and it's 30 feet high and 40 feet long. Always a popular photo stop for tourists. Rain Barrel has many fun shops to explore with souvenirs as well as arts and crafts. You can always enjoy a nice lunch at the cafe.
Paul and I always like to buy refrigerator magnets from the various places we visit, and this was no different. We bought a Betsy magnet, and I bought a Betsy shirt, and I really love it. Seeing Betsy was one of the things that we really wanted to do when we went on this trip, and so we had fun posing for pictures and videos with Betsy. This is a for sure stop when you drive down to Key West.
Oh yeah, we had lots of fun posing and making videos next to Betsy. Was really fun. A little farther down Highway 1, you come to the History of Diving Museum. This museum first opened in 2005. The museum has many outstanding exhibits with the history of diving helmets, diving suits, and items that were really used in movies. It is a remarkably interesting museum.
Yes, next we stopped at Robbie's Marina. They have a waterfront restaurant and bar serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a menu of seafood and American dishes. There's also shopping consisting of clothing, island-inspired home decor, art, souvenirs, antiques, and also collectibles. Activities there include kayaking, snorkeling, and water-based activities. But the most famous activity there is feeding the tarpons.
Oh, yeah.
You hand feed the tarpons with small fish, but watch out because the pelicans try to steal the fish before you can feed it to the tarpons.
Okay, next we drive a 28-mile drive and we arrive at Keys Fisheries on Marathon Island, home of the lobster Reuben sandwich. This piece of lobster heaven will set you back approximately $30, but it's worth every single bite. A wee bit farther down the highway is the Turtle Hospital. They have a fascinating 90-minute tour with sea turtles in rehab. They rescue injured sea turtles and nurse them back to health and release them back to the sea.
On the tour, they sometimes hold public events to release the rehabilitated turtles back to the ocean, and that is what I would really love to see.
Yeah, that actually would be a lot of fun to see them actually release those turtles back to the wild habitat which they belong. Next, you travel a short distance to Shady Palm Art Gallery to take photos with the hungry shark mouth named Nibbles. It was lots of fun taking photos inside that shark mouth. They also have a manatee to take photos with. Diane and I had a blast taking several pictures, different, like, the shark's eating you and all that fun stuff in that shark's mouth.
We traveled less than 2 miles to get to the 7-mile bridge. It is one of the longest oversea bridges in the world. You travel over beautiful aqua water alongside the old train bridge, and it is now a 2.2 mile long pedestrian bridge where you can walk across it, ride a bike or rollerblade or whatever. You can go on that bridge. And off on the right-hand side, you can see Fred the tree growing out of the old train tracks. And that's one thing that Paul and I wanted to see because we saw different videos on it.
We had to see Fred the tree.
Yeah, and we saw that tree growing out of that dirt there on the bridge, so we wanted to see it, and we did get to see it.
Yep.
So right after crossing the 7-mile bridge is Little Duck Key. You can park your car in the parking lot and walk out onto that pedestrian bridge.
In another short drive, you arrive at Bahia Honda State Beach. There is a trail you can take to the old Bahia Honda Bridge. You can walk on the bridge and take photos, but it's best seen from below on the beach, and that's a great photo spot.
The last stop that you can visit before entering Key West is Big Pine Key. This is home of the National Key Deer Refuge. The deer here are the smallest subspecies of white-tailed deer, and they're only found in the Florida Keys.
Okay, as we arrive in Key West, we head to the Hibiscus Hotel, which is where we'll be staying during our trip. There's also so many fun things to see and do in Key West, from the Hemingway House, Southernmost Point, eating at various restaurants like Sloppy Joe's or the Moondog Cafe. And if you want an easy way to get around and see the sights in Key West, we recommend you take the Old Town Trolley. It's a hop-on, hop-off trolley, and it's the best way to see Key West your way and on your time.
Again, we would like to have you leave us a comment below on your drive to Key West, where you stopped, and what you thought of the places that you visited.
All right, that does it for our trip down to Key West. But before we go, we'd like to have you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never ever miss an exciting episode of The Adventurous Life of Paul and Diane. It is very important to Diane and me that you also leave a comment, because we're really interested in the different things that our viewers see and our viewers do. We got over 3,500 subscribers, and Diane and I thank you for your support. All right, and as always, live your life as adventure. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. I used to play around with hearts, hastened at my call. When I met that little girl, knew that I would fall. Poor little fool.